G'day guys, how's it going? I've got some good news for you. Unlike a few videos ago, I actually do have a good suggestion for you as far as getting really high scores is concerned. I was going to do a video on crafting pylons 3 here at J4, crafting pylon 4 here at D4, and crafting pylon 5 here at G7. But then I thought, screw that. Why would you guys want to know how to do that when you already know how to do it? It's pretty much the same recipe as how you did the first two pylons. And if you've been playing like me, then at this point, they're just a breeze. Honestly, the gems that you have at the start, they're incredibly powerful. You knock those pylons off in a matter of seconds, really. Only a couple of minutes. So, what to do next? Well, what I did was I literally pretty much just played through all of the fields that I could see, except for the four corner ones. I haven't played any of the four corner ones yet, but I have essentially beaten every single field on minimum settings. Seriously, all just like this. No cranked up giants, blah 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 blah, because I didn't really care about getting experience off them and stuff like that. I just wanted to unlock them so I could do endurance on any and every level that I wanted to. I recommend that you do the same. It doesn't take long. Just start a new level, set up your starting gem, send all waves immediately, and within a couple of minutes you'll have finished a wave. You got to do that for about, I don't know, 100 if you left off about around here. So yeah, it's quite a few, but honestly, a couple of hours of playing and you'll have essentially clocked the game, and you will be able to do endurance on any level. Why would you want to do endurance on any level? Well, I'm about to show you why. Now, at this point, you would have a wizard level, something around the order of here. I'll just ignore this because I'll show you how I got that and how you can get it as well. You'll have a wizard level where you'll have your spells set up something like this. Maybe you won't have any in slow, armor tearing, or shocking, or even poison, because you won't need them. But I did just so I can, yep, it's there. I can set it and forget it. So resonance was at around 67. Focus was on 165. Replenish was on 115. Honestly, that is pretty much the skill points that I had back when I was down here at field J10, just after the second crafting pylon. Not much has changed. I may have gone up 2 or 3 wizard levels, but then I decided to go ahead and show you guys the fields that you should do in order of first to last if you want to get incredibly high scores with the current wizard level that you have. We're talking about maximum scores for what you've got, you know, without overextending yourself. So, have a look at this. After I unlocked all of them, all of the fields, I did L3 and I got 63 million pretty much. That's with all the settings cranked up to full. Everything. And because I've clocked the game, I could also do Shadow Clash. I did do the game like this. Maximum score possible. And this is the amount of skill points that I got. Now, why did I do L3? Well, there's a very important reason, which is the reason why I'm also going to recommend a couple of other fields just afterwards. Have a look at this. You start off with a mana shard that has, yes, 111,000 mana in it. That's 111,000 free mana at the start. Now, start off just as you normally would. Get your stuff up and running. What I tend to do is actually, what I did was, I was thinking to myself, well, it'd be nice if I could put my tower here. So I just gem bombed away these 4 towers. I put amplifiers all around here, and when I finish, you can actually place an amplifier or a tower or whatnot in the square that a mana shard is in if the mana shard is empty. In other words, you've depleted it. So do that. Set yourself up. And as far as angering waves was concerned, I kind of didn't really worry about it at all. Not much anyways. I did put something on there just so I could try and activate the bloodbound component of my major gem a little bit. So I did something like, give it a few. There we go. Just let it slowly chip away. Don't send any of these waves early. You want to try and chip this down to nothing as soon as possible. So then this will be very powerful and you'll be able to start up a mana farm fairly quickly. This map is brilliant for it, by the way. I did something, I think I walled off like this. I think I made it snake through there. And then I cut this off so everything would have to go through here. Look at this. This map is actually really easy. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entrance paths for monsters to come in through. 6 of them. The more paths there are for monsters to come through, the easier it is for you to be able to have your gem going nuts on lots of monsters and have your mana farm going without worrying about it. So what I did was I put my mana farm here, I think. Yeah, it was here. And I gem bombed away that. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 amplifiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 amplifiers there. I had my mana farm going and it was never interrupted by this gem. It was brilliant. It worked out so well. Remember to always upgrade your... remember to always extend your mana pool. Let the gem just chip away slowly at that thing. It's still got 100,000 mana left. Believe me, by the time you're done with it, you're going to have a grade 11 gem. And that's probably when maybe wave 11 or 12 is coming out. So you can start angering waves like crazy and gem bombing the hell out of them. Should be good. Should be easy. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is, while you're still a relatively low wizard level, like what this game is at, where I am at the moment, go for levels where you have a lot of mana in mana shards. Now, I don't mean a lot of mana shards. There are some levels out there that have something like, 10, 15 mana shards, but they only have about 200-300 mana in each. Instead, go for the ones where the total mana added up through all of the mana shards equals a very big number. In this case, this is actually the most mana, or is it the second most mana? I can't remember. I think it's the level with the second most mana that you can start off with in mana shards. I think there is one more level that has got more mana per mana shards at the start, and I think I'll show you that one later. Anyways, I'll show you the top 3. This is number 2. And you know what? This level is great for Bloodbound because look at this. You got a couple of tombs that you can crack open and that'll give you plenty of monsters to kill. This level works out really well. It's really easy and you can crank up the settings so long as you don't go nuts with anything at the beginning. Just chip away at that mana shard, deplete it completely. You'll be laughing. You'll get the high score like I did. It was something like 63 million or something like that. Once you get that first extremely large score, 63 million, that's it. I've got now 4,500 skill points just sitting around waiting for me to spend it. That's a lot of skill points, guys. That's quite a lot. That's perfect. That's all I'll need. I'll essentially chuck almost all of that onto my focus, and then I'll be able to start every other game with a lot more mana, which means I'll be able to set myself up a lot better for endurance, and I'll basically be able to do pretty much any field from here on in on endurance with maximum settings. I'm quite confident I can do that. Don't know if you heard that, but of all the times for an idiot to be driving by in his little fartmobile, he had to do it now while I was recording. Oh well. There we go. That's depleted. Now look at that. As I said, I promised you. Just finish that off. Put that last amplifier there. I've got a grade 11 gem. I can even upgrade these once. That's fine. I can afford that. Wave 19. That's not too bad. The monsters are still pretty weak, and I'm already doing quite a large amount of damage. Now is the time to go nuts with the gem bombing. Not too nuts, just, I don't know. Start off with something like this. And don't send waves fast. Don't go sending waves early. Just get a feel for how powerful your gem is. Right now I'm feeling pretty powerful because those were the strong monsters. Actually yes, that was one reason. That just reminded me, that flicker. That's one major reason why you wanted to go for a level which had a lot of mana and mana shards early, is because if you want to go with the maximum settings, once you've clocked the game, turn on Shadow Clash. That means every single game at around this point, I think it's around wave 20 or something like that, a shadow comes out. Now, I think you can bring down a shadow with a gem of this configuration in grade 10, but it takes a while. A grade 9 gem, it can be done, but it does take forever. A grade 11 gem and higher, those are the gems that just bring down these shadows with no sweat at all. You'll see what I mean. Watch this. As soon as he comes on the screen, I'm going to pause it, try and select him. No, I can't yet. There we go. I'm going to focus fire on him. Look at that. Barely broke a sweat trying to kill him. He's still going, but there we go. I made it look easy, but trust me, if you don't get your gem up and running to a point where you can comfortably take down the shadow, you're going to struggle against it. It's going to maybe stop here and start sending all sorts of monsters towards your orb, and it's just... It sucks when you have to struggle against a shadow. So try and set yourself up so you don't struggle against them. That's all I can say. Let's see. And I forgot to anger my waves. You got to keep on top of a few things at once. What I'm going to do now, I'm angering. You're probably thinking, hey, when are we going to get the mana farm up and running? Chill out, that's going to come soon. I just want to get this gem up to a grade that I'm just really comfortable with. And right now I'd feel very comfortable if it was at grade 13. So once this gem is at grade 13, and to be honest, how many hit points are there? 100,000 hit points and I'm smashing them. So I tell you what, this is going to be the moneymaker. Look at that. 49 monsters. Yeah, this was most likely 4 monsters or 8 monsters. So that, we're going to pump that up a little bit. See if we can get ourselves a lot of mana very quickly. Okay. I overextended myself. Quite confident I've just overextended myself. Don't do that, guys. That was not a clever idea. I'm going to have to waste a few gems on these. Just to weaken them. Just so I might be able to stop the onslaught from reaching my orb. Whoops. Okay, so I think I've done the classic. Here we go. This is how you don't do it again. But I think you get the general idea. Get yourself into a comfortable state where you can easily overwhelm everything. And then from there, get your mana farm up and running. Once your mana farm is going nice and swell, then it's pretty much elementary from there. You know what to do. You've seen me do it many times probably in my endurance runs. And when you've done that level, you'll be swimming in skill points. And these are the 2 extra fields that I recommend you do. Field G8 and I think it's F8 as well. Let me show you why. First I'm going to put him up to 125, put him up to, I don't know, 100. Blow the rest on focus. That is quite a large number. That's a nice sight. Here we go. 30,000, 30,000, 30,000 mana shards. 3 of them. Very close together. Easy to get with the tower. Place your tower somewhere like here. And just as before, chip away. And lastly, let's see, it was also this one.
Wonderful stuff, DNA.
Have a look at this. There's a lot of mana shards, but they all have a substantial amount of mana each. And when you add it all up, it adds up to quite a large number. So that would be your 3rd recommended field. So go ahead and do these 3 fields on endurance. This one, L3, and then G8, and then F8. And once you've done those 3, you'll have so many skill points that you'll be able to just get this focus up to an incredibly large number. And then from there, you should be able to play more or less like this. Wizard level 1023. Once you've done that, those 3 levels, you should have a wizard level something around the order of maybe 2,500 to 3,000. And from there, it's not really that much different to this particular one, where my wizard level is something like 6,400 and something or other. And yeah, and then you just happy days. Go ahead and smash every single level. Which levels give the most amount of experience? Well, I'm going to have to... I've had quite a few requests for people getting me to email to them my Gemcraft field stats Excel spreadsheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to fix that up, because it did have a small error where some fields were showing more high score possible than they should have. So I'll go through it, I'll fix it up, and then I'll make another video where I'll just go through all of the fields and so forth. And if you want, just look at the video, pause where you want to pause so you can get the relevant information, use your strategy to your advantage with that information, and go for the fields with the highest. And once you've done a few of those, then you'll be just swimming in skill points like I am. Okay, so next video, most likely be field stats. See you then. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you get very far along. And by all means, remember to comment, guys. Catch you later.